I'm excited that this WorkPro 4-in-1 multifunction workstation has arrived. Let's get this thing out of the box, check it out, and put it to work. So once you open the box, you'll see that it does have some assembly required, but it does have the work instruction right there on top. So let's go ahead and open that up and get this thing put together. All right, so when I opened up the box, it looked like there was a lot of things you needed to assemble, but really what you'll find out is most of it's actually already assembled. So I took this out of the packaging and just sat it on here so that way I could get it stood up. And now I need to go in and add the accessories to it. So the first part of the assembly is putting the wheels on this table, which is actually really easy. So if you start by doing this side first, if you put the wheels on this side of the table first, then you can lay the table like this because you put those wheels on it. You can lean on a side like this with the wheels down, which makes it easier to access these two little areas to put these wheels on, and they go on without a problem. So the next step is to put together this support top here for the miter saw, which is basically putting together these two pipes into these side supports and then mounting this middle support bracket here. And then you just clamp it on using these clamps here, which are great because then it lets you just pop these up. They're on there pretty tight. And then when you take all of these off, then you can just take that whole support off and the whole miter saw and everything comes off with it. Only tip I have here to offer is make sure all your holes line up in the plastic and in the support brace before you actually start screwing anything in together. And now to the actual mounting of the miter saw to the support brackets that clamp onto this base. All right, so here it is. I got the miter saw mounted. This is my rigid miter saw mounted on the new workstation table. Gotta say, I really like it. It's got plugs over here on the side where you can plug in your saw, and then you can put an extension cord here which operates these three plugs. You've got all kinds of little accessory holders here where you can put screwdrivers and different things. You got trays here. This board even comes up with just the pull of a little pin over there, which lets you flip that over or take it out completely. The legs go up and down for height adjustment, and they fold up underneath the table. Here is where you can pull the pin. When you take the miter saw off, you can pull this pin here and it lets you flip the board or take the board off. I'll show you that in just a moment. You can take the saw on and off using these clamps, but when you want to put the saw on, you just come over here and clamp it until it locks. Now your miter saw is locked into place, and then when you want to take it off or move it, you just push it in and pull the little button underneath to unlock it off of the mount. And now you can take the saw off or move it back and forth. All right, now that I've got the saw mounted, let me go ahead and take it off so I can show you how that board down there works. So I lifted the saw off the table by just, again, undoing those two brackets. And now we have this part of the table to pull the miter saw portion off. You just undo these clips. And this whole piece will come off. I'll lay that down here. Now that's laying there. And then here is the table. So this is the board side of the table, but if I want to move that, you just pull this pin and lift up on the whole table. This whole table piece comes out because there is two pins down here on this side. So you can pull this whole thing out and you can actually flip it. So let me show you what the other side looks like. So you flip it, you push those little pins into there, and then on this side you just pull this little pin so that way it snaps in. So now that's snapped in, and now you have this side of the table. You can use it either way, and that's just as a workbench. But then you can come in and snap in the miter saw foundation and then the miter saw itself, and now you have a miter saw table. Great table so far. My miter saw is pretty heavy, so this is pretty neat to be able to just attach the miter saw to this and fold it up and be able to use it. Those nice big wheels right there will let you roll it, and then you just pop it up whenever you're ready to use it. You're good to go. This is a very cool table. I really like it. All right, so this is it folded up in its storage layout. So what's awesome about it this way is you know, miter saws are not light. You know, they do take some work to carry those things around. So what I can do is I can leave it mounted to this table, and I can lock down the arms, fold it down like this, and this does have wheels. You know, you mounted all 4 wheels on it. Just laying in this position, it's going to roll around on a concrete floor. So if you have it just laying like this and you want to move it, you can just literally move it with just the saw here. But what I plan on doing is just grabbing the handle here and carrying it around like this. So if you pull it around like this, now basically I have a dolly that I can pull my miter saw around on, and then it just stays on this table and I can set it up. So I hope this review was helpful. If it was, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, if you subscribe to the channel, that really helps me out. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Y'all take care.